Early one night, there was a steam engine waiting at the docks to take his passengers home. He was the same class as Thomas, with 6 small wheels, except he was painted silver and had the number 0 on his side. His name was Timothy. He was an old but kind engine with a broad smile and wrinkles at the end of his mouth. All the passengers got on board the coaches and his driver called out, "Full steam ahead, Timothy."
Sure thing.
And they steamed away. As they approached the first station, it happened. The driver applied the brakes, but Timothy kept on going and shot past the station. He started to go faster and faster. "Timothy, what are you doing?" yelled his driver. Timothy didn't answer. He just kept on going. Suddenly, they were switched off the wrong line, heading away from the main line. Then the driver and the fireman noticed that they were heading towards a cliff where a viaduct was to be built. "Timothy, don't! You will kill us all!" The driver and the fireman scrambled and fiddled with the controls, desperately trying their best to stop him, but it was no use.
I will send you all to graveyard.
One evening, Thomas and Percy were with their drivers, were discussing with who they saw Timothy. "I'm telling you, Burns, I saw Timothy, and even Toby did, and if he was here, he'd tell you his encounter." "I don't know what you guys are saying, but there is no such thing as ghosts. I've even had my encounter once, but I don't really want to talk about it. Me and Toby saw it, along with Percy." "Yeah, I saw it too." "Don't forget about me, I also saw it. The ghost is Timothy, Thomas's brother." "What? Thomas's brother?" "Yes. The ghost train is known as Timothy. He has 6 small wheels, except he is silver and has the number 0 on his side. And he was an old engine who had wrinkles on his face. I remember when I used to work here a long time ago that he was very quiet, but would often lose his temper. But apparently the manager was going to scrap him. But the manager got on board the train. It was his last run before he was going to get scrapped. And then I guess he ran off the cliff. And I guess he was getting his revenge, so he wouldn't get scrapped. He killed him along with the passengers and himself." Okay. So this ghost train is supposedly Thomas's brother who went insane and ran off a cliff and killed everyone? Yes, that's what we're trying to say. I still don't believe you guys, and to go prove it, actually, I've dealt with ghosts before. I remember my son had one in his closet, and we just moved out. But this isn't a ghost. This is a ghost train. And if you never heard of a ghost train before, then you don't want to deal with it. Huh. You really think that this ghost train is real? Yes, it's real. It's real. We've had our encounter with it before. Huh, okay. Alright. I'm gonna go prove to y'all that this ghost train isn't real. Huh. Stupid guys trying to believe me that the ghost train's real. He's gonna get himself done. Yep. Like we said before, Dunyan rings. "Whoa, ghost, I'm here. Aren't you gonna get me?" He didn't believe anything until he realized that he heard a whistle. "Huh? What? Who's there? Show yourself." No one replied. "I said show yourself, dang it!" Still no reply. Huh, that is weird. But I swear I heard a whistle. It must be my imagination. I must be losing it. Bert was terrified with what he saw. A ghost train was coming right in front of him. Ah! Ah! Only to disappear when it touched him, right into thin air. Bert was left with so many questions. Like, what happened? How did it disappear? And was it really a ghost? Oh dear, he said. What will the others think? And he walked off the train track. Thomas just couldn't get over his encounter with his older brother, Timothy. He just couldn't get it out of his head. But he decided to tell Diesel 10 because he was going to visit the scrap yards, and he was about to warn him. A ghost train that's named Timothy? Except he's painted silver and has the number 0 on his side? Thomas, what have you gotten yourself into? That's just a pile of rubbish. But it's not a pile of rubbish. It's an actual story, said Thomas. What have you gotten your funnel into now, you little engine? Said Diesel 10. Why, if they saw me at Pinchy, we would just get it off and scare it away. Because ghosts are afraid of engines like us. Little Thomas. Right, Pinchy? Yeah, that's right. Now, Thomas, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go visit the scrapyard. So good night. And Diesel 10 stormed off. Diesel 10 arrived at the scrapyard. He was picking up garbage. Thomas expects me to believe that pile of rubbish. Pah! That's just a story. Can't believe he got his funnel into that. But then, he heard a whistle that he had never heard before. Thomas, I know that's you trying to scare me, and I'm not falling for it. But he heard the whistle again. But, hey, who's there? I'm not afraid of you. Show yourself. Then he saw an engine that he had never seen before, approaching him. Oh my God! Is that a ghost engine? Thomas was telling the truth! Oh! Diesel 10 was scared almost to death. Diesel 10 covered his eyes with Pinchy. Ah! Stay away from me, you evil demon! He cried. But as soon as he covered his eyes, train had vanished into thin air. All the engines that had seen Timothy were gathering around a meeting. Henry, don't deliver the flying kipper. You'll see Timothy. Henry, we're literally telling you, don't have to deliver the flying kipper. I would tell them that the story is fake, but I've had my encounter. Yes, that ghost train is absolutely describing the devil. It's literally the devil himself, but into an engine. What have you little engines gotten yourself into? Diesel 10, what happened to the mean villain we all knew and love? This is you now? Can't believe you're scared of a little blue tank engine. Story. Bro, you literally are scared of a silver little tank engine. What's so scary about him? He's not a little blue tank engine. That's Thomas. And first of all, that's not Thomas. It's Timothy. His face is literally describing the devil himself. It's literally the devil into a steam engine. Yes, we've all had our encounter with him. But Henry, we're telling you, if you want to be traumatized, then deliver the flying kipper. But don't deliver the flying kipper. We're literally warning you. What have you guys gotten yourselves into? This is just a pile of rubbish. The story is 100% false. I've been on this island almost 20 to 21 years, and I've never seen a ghost in my entire life. But no buts, little tank engine. I'm going to go deliver the flying kipper whether you all like it or not. And he stormed out of the sheds. But it's true. I just hope he'll learn one day. Don't worry, Thomas. I'm sure he will. Henry delivered the flying kipper. Can't believe those engines tell me to believe that story. That story's fake. That's a fake story everyone is gonna believe. I can't believe even Diesel 10 fell for it. But as soon as he realized what happened, he derailed and came off the tracks. Oh no, not this again, he said. Well, Henry, I think you've gotten yourself stuck again, said his driver. I'm gonna go get help. You stay here. Okay, he said, and the driver left to go get help. Henry was a little scared on the story, but he kept telling himself that the story was fake. Henry, the story is fake. They're trying to lure you into a trap. That's a fake story. That is not true. That is not true at all, he kept telling himself, but he couldn't get it out of his head. But what he saw next made him shriek. He saw a silver tank engine approaching him. What? So the legend is true.
Oh, so you have heard of me.
You're the one that's everyone's talking about. So you are true. But the ghost engine didn't respond. Hey, but aren't you listening? The ghost train took one step forward and then went backwards as fast as he could. Hey, come back! I still have questions to ask you. His driver arrived. Henry, is everything okay? Yes, but I have a question. Did you ever see a silver tank engine when you used to work here? Well, I think I did. What was his name? Timothy. It was Timothy, right? Wait a minute. It's all clinging back to me. I think it was him. It was Timothy. It has to have been. Because I remember a silver tank engine with the number 0 on his side. So, it was him. But I remember seeing someone like that when I first came here. That was when I first arrived on the island. I didn't believe it until first. I had totally forgotten about it. But I guess he still runs on this island. Oh no, he doesn't run alive. He runs as a ghost engine. His revenge is supposed to come. But what is his revenge? If I remember clearly, it was to take his brother Thomas with him. Oh my God, he said. But help is on the way, Henry. Do not worry. And sure enough, help was on the way. They picked up Henry and managed to get him back on the tracks. He didn't speak a single word for the rest of the night, and hopefully that he will forget this moment forever. One evening, Gordon was preparing to take the express. He was unaware of the untold story of Timothy, and when Thomas tried to tell him about it, he did not listen and was truly unsure if Timothy was real. But he never worried because he was a big engine, and that's why he always thought that Timothy was always fake. All the passengers got on board the coaches, and the driver called out, "Right, Gordon, time to leave." "All right." Out of my way! I must hurry, or else I'll be late. Gordon, I think we have to stop. The sign ahead is red. What? They stopped at the viaduct. "There's nothing here," said Gordon. But he was soon wrong, as he felt him being bumped. "Whoa! What on earth was that?" he said. But no one was there, so he was confused. "Driver, did you feel that bump?" "Yes, Gordon," he said. "But who do you think it was?" "I'm not sure," he said. "I'm going to go investigate." His driver got out and walked towards to see if anything was there. But they were confused, and the passengers were too, because they didn't know what was onto them. But then they heard a whistle that was so deep they didn't even think it was a whistle. That would pretty creep them out, and they didn't know if there was an engine trying to prank them or what it was. But just as they expected, they didn't see anything at first. Then a ghost train started rolling towards them, and they were terrified. His driver shrieked in horror. "What is that?" he yelled. I don't know," he said. Ram into it, his driver yelled. But he couldn't because there wasn't a driver on board. "I can't, there's no driver on board. Well, what are we supposed to do?" But the ghost engine didn't say anything. It just stared into Gordon's eyes. It was the most terrifying moment of Gordon's life, and he didn't know if it was an engine playing a prank on him or what it was, but he realized that the face looked exactly like the devil himself. His face was equivalent to what hell must be like. His eyes beaming with red, and it was painted silver with silver paint all over his body, and he had wrinkles, and he looked extremely tired and terrifying. Gordon was terrified, and he tried backing up, but he couldn't. I can't back up, he yelled. His driver had passed out because of how feared and terrified he was. But as soon as they knew it, the ghost train
disappearing into thin air.
Gordon didn't know what it was or what kind of locomotive it was. He didn't get a good glimpse at it, but all he knew that it had 6 small wheels. His driver woke up. What happened? He said. Nothing happened. I think we should just finish with our train, Gordon
Agreed,
said his driver. That ghost was extremely terrifying. And he hopped back into the cab, and hoping that they would forget this day for always and always and always.